Hello there, and welcome back to another episode on Peter Herman Adventures. Today is kind of a current events day on the Vedder. There was another bank collapse, or if you want to call it a slide, up at Ranger Run yesterday morning. So I came up here to see for myself what happened and how it's going to impact the fisheries in the near future. And unfortunately, I can't get very close to the site itself. You can see it sort of behind me there. On the wide angle, it'll probably be really tiny, but there's a big clay bank up there that's been collapsing into the river for many years now. And sometimes these big storms trigger kind of a bigger collapse, and all that sediment slides into the river, and then the river washes it clean for many days to come. There was a big slide up there last summer. I don't know if it was fall or summer, I don't remember the exact date, but definitely earlier last year there was a big slide, and that affected water clarity throughout these last few months. I've actually been waiting for a day when the river would clear up enough so that I could go and do a snorkel and look for steelhead, but it's been so murky lately that I haven't been able to make that happen. And this new slide looks like it's gonna maybe keep things murky for the whole steelhead season. So I'll show you a little bit of a pan here. Way up there you can see the steep bank that's been collapsing into the river, and it collapsed some more yesterday. There are two channels here. They separate on an island a little further up. And down here you can see where the murky water and the clear water meet, and there's a huge difference between the clear side and the dirty side. And lower down, obviously all that water mixes, and the whole lower river has been very murky ever since yesterday. So what exactly does that mean for our fisheries? Well, all that silt has a definite negative impact on the salmon eggs. The salmon eggs are in the gravel, maturing throughout the winter, and when you have a whole bunch of sediment cover up those eggs, it deprives them of oxygen, and they have a smaller chance of surviving. Fortunately, I think all this clay particle silt is really very light, and it stays suspended in the water column, so maybe somebody who's a hydrologist or a fisheries scientist can leave a comment and maybe elaborate a little more on how those sediments are impacting the salmon eggs. I think though that most of these sediments stay suspended in the water column, and they don't really start to precipitate out of the water column until the water slows down in the lower sections of the river. And down there we don't have a ton of salmon that spawn down there. It's mostly the chum. And obviously chum are a very important species, but they also tend to lay their eggs where groundwater comes up through the gravel and mitigates some of those silt impacts. As far as steelhead fishing, how does it impact steelhead fishing? Well, I can tell you from driving up here on a Friday afternoon that a lot of people have this idea that they're gonna go fish the clear water above the slide, and on a weekday the crowds up here are unbelievable. I bet you there are, like, I don't know, 40, 50 people fishing this stretch of river between Ranger Run and Slessy Creek, which is the upper fishing boundary. So the slide makes things a lot busier up top, and lower down it makes the water murky, which in my opinion is not such a bad thing. When the water is dirty, the fish are not easily spooked. They can't see out of the water, so if you can't see the fish, they can't see you. You can use a little bit heavier leader, so when the water is this dirty you can use 15-pound leader, which certainly makes the fish a lot easier to bring in if you do hook one. And targeting them in dirty water, well, you have to change up your tactics a little bit. Go with something a little bigger, a little flashier. Go with something that's got a little bit more scent. And I've heard reports of 1 or 2 fish caught down below, so don't give up, keep trying. And thanks for watching. I really appreciate all the support you guys have been sending my way. Everybody has subscribed and liked my videos. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. is just a closer shot. You can really see that muddy and clear water mixing right here. It's pretty neat. Well, I haven't made a cast yet today, so maybe it's about time I started.